Matthew chapter number 24, verses 32 and 33. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Knowing the times and the seasons. This whole conversation started out with the apostles coming up to Jesus back up here in verse number 3. When he had told them no stone would be left upon another, they came to, when will these things be? And when will be God's second coming? And what would be the signs of the end of the world? And Christ laid out for them a timeline of events. And our next few verses, he will re-emphasize over and over and over. You have to see these events. You have to follow these events. It's of the utmost importance. Because there will be a false prophet working miracles and an antichrist that will not follow these events, that will be doing tricks. If you do not know these events in their order, then you will be deceived. Let's try to take a quick glance at that timeline. It starts with Revelation, chapter number 6 and 7, with the 4 horsemen. And you can see we have the verses of Revelation tied in, and we have our verses of Matthew, Mark, and Luke tied in, and we are constantly adding more. So you can see how all of this is put together. So you do not have to wonder. You have the white horseman, you have the red horseman, the black horseman, and the pale horseman. The white horseman, that of the conquering Antichrist, rising to his power. Second, the red horse, he will take peace from the world. The black horseman, it's a famine that will come from the wars and the death. And this death toll would be so horrific, it would be 1/4 of the existing population, over 1.75 billion individuals. Then you move on to the 5th seal. The sun will be black, sackcloth the moon will not give her light, and the stars of heaven will fall. Then you have the 6th seal with the earthquakes, the souls of them that came out of the great tribulation. And then the 7th seal where there was silence in heaven. Now we move on to the 7 trumpets. We start out with our punishment of thirds, which will go from the 1st trumpet all the way to the 6th trumpet. A third of the trees, a third of the grass burnt up. The 2nd trumpet, and like I said, we have our corresponding verses, Joel, Amos, Zephaniah, Revelation. So you can tie all of this together. Then we have the 2nd trumpet. The sea became as blood, and a third of the life that in it died as well, and a third of the ships. The 3rd trumpet, third of the rivers, third of the fountains of water, all became wormwood. The 4th trumpet, a third of the sun became black, a third of the stars, a third of the moon did not give their light, became black. The 5th trumpet, the stars shall fall from heaven, the smoke from a bottomless pit, and those dreadful locusts shall bite and torment men for 5 months, unable to kill them, just to torment. The 6th trumpet, one of the most horrific ones of all, where that 200 million being army will arise and kill 1/3 of the remaining population, will be 1.75 plus billion again. Then in the fifth seal, we have our 3 woes that start, and they will continue on. You can see we have our 7th trumpet, and then we have the final events. The 7th trumpet spans all the way across. Now we have our final events where the Lamb will make his return with the 7th trumpet. He will come riding a cloud, and he will have the sharp sickle in his hand, and he will redeem his people from the earth. You can read that in Matthew 24:30. Then over here you have Revelation 14:1, Joel 3:12-14, Matthew 24:30. Then you have the angels will reap the earth, Revelation 14:15-16, Matthew 24:31. And then you go on. The remaining individuals were reaped as well, but they were cast into the winepress of God's fury. Revelation 14:7-20, and other scriptures support that as well, and that will be coming at a later date. And then that wraps up the 7 trumpets. And then after the 7 trumpets, you go into the 7 last plagues, or the 7 vials. This is why we have to know the events. If we do not know the events, we will be deceived. God, we bless you. We give you glory and honor. Have your way. Thank God.